So I thought putting a lamp behind me didn't wash out the image as much, but now that I'm standing here for longer, I'm not sure it really helped. It is what it is. We're gonna see how this goes. This is just one of those like impromptu videos of what I'm up to, what's going on, and that's it. I guess that's my plan because I'm here and I have my things with me. Also, hello, everyone. I didn't say that. Hello, how are you? I am gonna pack after I record this because I'm pet sitting and staying at their house for like a week and a half. Just yesterday, some family friends were like, we have a family emergency. Can you take care of the cats while we're gone? And obviously I said yes. So, it disrupts things a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to try to take advantage of it, like I usually do with pet sitting, and read as much as I can. Especially because they don't have a Blu-ray player. So, usually when I pet sit, I bring literally a bag of books, like just a bag specifically for books, like one of those smaller kind of paper bags. That I have one that's like from Barnes & Noble, and I used to have one from Box Lunch, but I think my dad threw that one out accidentally. Anyway, usually I bring that bag, fill it with books. It's like the perfect size, and then I'll also put some movies in my bag. But they don't have a Blu-ray player, so if I want to watch something, it's gonna have to be on a streaming service, which some of the movies that I have and that I want to watch this month are available on streaming services, but I would still just prefer to watch the discs that I have because then I'll watch the supplements as well. But I'm not sure how much I'll watch because I would like to read, especially because of everything that I'm going to explain here, essentially. So, I will tell you of books that I'm going to bring, which also just has to do with like other things that I wanted to talk about in this what I'm up to update sort of video. So, firstly, 4 books, probably, because I don't think I'll be able to finish this tonight and then tomorrow before I leave. 4 books of the Vampire Academy series I will be bringing for sure, and that will definitely be my main priority while I'm gone. This is the 3rd book called Shadow Kiss, and the Vampire Academy series is a 6-book series that I impulsively decided to try to binge read and set aside a particular book that I am also in the middle of in order to binge read this series. And it has gone like kind of slower than I intended it to go. But I also like realized I wasn't necessarily making that much extra time for myself to read. So that's why I'm still only on the 3rd book. Even though when I do sit down and read these, I read a good chunk of it each time, and ultimately it takes me like a few days to actually finish a book when I sit down for a few hours or so to read it. And the Vampire Academy series, if you don't know what it's about, it would be like in that paranormal romance YA section in Barnes & Noble. I'm sure it was, because it has to do with Rose Hathaway, who's the main character. She's the character who's like telling the story. It's from her perspective, and she is a Dhampir, which is like a half vampire, half human, and they're trained in this world, in the Vampire Academy universe. They are trained to eventually become guardians to the Moroi, which is one of the types of vampires. There's 2, the Moroi, who are mortal, and they have a connection to the earth through powers, and those are the 4 elements of air, water, fire, and earth. And then there's also the Strigoi, the 2nd kind of vampire, and they are immortal and don't have powers, but they're more of like a base level vampire of being ruthless. They've lost their humanity, and there's like a few different ways that you can become Strigoi from before being a Moroi or a human or a Dhampir. Like, it doesn't matter what you were before, but you can always become a Strigoi. And there are certain ways that you can do that, or that someone can force you to become a Strigoi. And so the Dampiers protect the Moroi from Strigoi and other threats. And previous to the first book, Rose and her Moroi best friend Lissa are they're on the run. They ran away from the school that they were attending, St. Vladimir's Academy, and that was because of certain threats. I mean, I just used the word threats, but like it seemed like Lissa was in danger and they ran away. And in the beginning of Vampire Academy, the first book, they are found and taken back by guardians of the school, and they're forced to be at the school again. They give a lot of protection, but there are a few like different mysteries kind of interwoven into the first book and the overall series, with like why is Lissa in danger, why did they run away, and then also certain like abilities that the girls have. That's me being vague. But this book in particular, this third book here, has to do more with like the politics and like the world that the characters live in. This is more along the lines of like, well, I wouldn't consider it fantasy because it's I guess supernatural fantasy, yeah, or like paranormal fantasy in a way. But it's in the same vein of like urban fantasy where the real world exists, but also there's this like vampiric world that regular normal people like don't know about for the most part, just in the same way as like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson and the Shadowhunter books, where like the main like those books all have to do with a main character living in the real world, and then they find out about this magical world that exists. And obviously this is a little different in terms of the characters already belonging to this magical world and being aware of it. But I'm just saying that it's one of those it's not high fantasy where it's like everyone has powers or everyone is a vampire or some part of a vampire. Like regular humans who don't know about this world also exist. And so yeah, this one just has a lot more to do with like the politics and the way that the governing vampires like rule over the Moroi and Dampiers, and societal expectations and rules that are being challenged by a lot of the main characters of the series. And they're questioning the world. Actually, it's very it seems very relevant to now in the world, except with vampires. So which is interesting. And also, one of the villains of the series, I won't be specific about this character, but I think they're a really good villain because they want the same thing that the main characters are like thinking about, but they're just going at it in a different way. The methods are different, but they, in a way, have the same goals, at least in terms of what the main characters are starting to think. The main villain, or I'm assuming the person is the main villain of the series, they're older and have had a lot more time to like think about this, whereas the main characters for the most part are teenagers and just now like being brought into the sort of like adult political world and having a fuller understanding of things and the roles that they play within the world, especially with the whole like Dampier. There's a lot more to it. I guess I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, this is the third book, so I'll be bringing this. I don't think I'll be able to finish it before I leave tomorrow, because I'll try to read after I finish packing, but I don't know how much that's really going to happen. So I'll be bringing this third book, the fourth book, the fifth book, and the sixth book, and then probably just one more book, because I'm looking at a list of other books that I want to read in October. I say that as if I'm going to be gone all of October. I'm coming back on the 14th. But there are other books that I really want to read. And so I probably shouldn't bring more books than the 5 that I'm going to mention here, but I may bring a short one. That I may bring a couple more. I don't know. I do that a lot. That's what I meant by like I overpack books. I'll be gone for like 2 weeks and I'll bring 8 books for absolutely no reason. But of course, the book that I put down, that I set aside to try to binge read Vampire Academy, that series, and the other book that I will be bringing with me is Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates, which I was kind of not, I was just not being specific with how far I am into it, and I'm still not going to be specific necessarily, but I'll tell you, I'm not more than halfway through. I'm not super far into it overall, which I think is probably good considering I did decide to set it aside for now and read Vampire Academy. I would have probably hated myself if I had, like, you know, read more than half of it and then not read it for 3 weeks or something like that. So Blonde should definitely be my focus after Vampire Academy. But there's so many other books that I want to read. Thankfully, this is actually, like, pretty fast paced. I was not necessarily expecting that, especially for certain literary fiction books. Holy Jesus. That lamp is making my room so hot. My body temperature just increased like 10 degrees, I swear. I'm like actually really sweating now. Okay. It just hit me like a wave. So, sorry, but Blonde, I feel like most people who watch my channel and who are like internet friends of mine are definitely at least expecting me to talk about the movie, which obviously I'm not watching until after I finish the book, but also my more reader booktube friends are probably curious as to my thoughts on the book. And so I will have a video on Blonde. Obviously right now is like the best time to have something out, but I just know that that's not going to happen, and I'm not going to just rush through things in order to upload something because it's relevant right now. Honestly, I think I've said this before, but like sometimes being on YouTube, you have to like live a month ahead. Like right now, like if you're planning videos and things like that, it should be like, no. It's November right now, and I should be doing things as if it was November. That way, when it is November, I can upload things when the timing is right. You know what I mean? You have to live like shifted from the rest of the world if you want to put content up at the time that they are most relevant. Because I do think within the last couple of days is when I've noticed more Blonde review videos going up within like the film community and within some other people that I am subscribed to who do like video essays and stuff. Longer videos really discussing Blonde is what I've seen going up in the past couple of days more, whereas earlier in the month and like in September after the movie came out, which I mean was just the 28th, so it's barely been a week, I think. But you know, when it first came out, and then of course when it was first premiered at Venice, people had early like review videos that weren't as like in depth and stuff and analytical. So I've added a lot of videos to like a playlist to watch later, as well as a bunch of articles and like reviews and stuff that to read. I have read some things, I have watched some like early videos, but again, like nothing that goes too in depth of the movie. And so I will have a Blonde video, a video about Blonde overall, and I'm going to split it into 3 parts, but still, I do think I still want it to be one video, because I'm thinking more so of doing it in the vein of a video essay. And so the first part will be talking about Blonde, the novel by Joyce Carol Oates, and then the second part will be talking about Blonde, the miniseries from, I keep forgetting if this was published in 1999 or 2000. I think 2000, and then that means the miniseries is from 2001. And then the third part will be Blonde, the 2022 film. And for both the miniseries and the film, I will also sort of split those up into 2 parts, because I want to talk about those as things individually, as the miniseries, as the film, but then also the miniseries as an adaptation and the film as an adaptation, especially because I am reading the book, and because I haven't seen anyone, I mean, again, this is like limited to people that I'm subscribed to for the most part. I watched a few other reviews of people who I'm not subscribed to that I'm not familiar with. So those videos, plus people I'm subscribed to who talked about Blonde earlier like in September when it was first premiered, and then like people's short letterbox reviews since the premiere of it. That's what I've read, that's what I've watched. No one has read the book, which is fine. You don't have to read a book before like watching an adaptation, but I just know that that is a different perspective that I can give when talking about both of the adaptations, is how they play out as adaptations, and that sort of comparison and analysis. Yeah, that's a big aspect of what I want to do with that video, as well as no one's mentioned the miniseries as far as I've read, as far as I've watched. I've not seen anyone mention it. I don't know if people are aware that it exists, or know that it's also an adaptation of the same book. So, also it's available on like, I think I saw it on Tubi. I don't know, one of like the free streaming services is where I saw it was available to watch. Probably with ads, but whatever. It's available for free. So, yes. I keep grabbing my hair. Blonde. It's in the works, okay? And then also, oh yeah, I got a whole notebook just for Blonde. It's a very nice notebook too. It just says thoughts on the front, and then I don't know if you can like kind of see. You can't. It has like this embossed design on it of like a woman's face, and I thought it was very fitting for Blonde, for my options that were at Target the day that I went to the store. So that is gonna have all of my thoughts pertaining to Blonde overall, the book, the miniseries, the film, especially because there's not a lot of room in the margins to get thoughts down, and I want something tangible for writing my thoughts in, because I usually, when I'm like reading or watching something, my phone is the first place I go to like write something down. But I also film on my phone, so that's never helpful when it actually comes to like filming, unless I've copied my thoughts somewhere else, because I can't film and look at my notes on my phone at the same time. So I probably shouldn't bring more books because they will not be touched, but I probably will bring at least one more. Oh, okay, two more. I'll probably bring What Moves the Dead. Oh my god, my hair is everywhere. It's stuck in my eyelashes. I'll probably bring What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher and Midnight Club by Christopher Pike. And this one I know, I just remembered. Oh my god, the font is huge. The text is huge. So I know that this I could finish in one night and get more reading done. I mean, both of these are really short, which is why I just thought of them. But there are other books that I also want to read. So, yeah, I keep looking at that list of October books. Thankfully, some of them still work for November, but would still like to read this month. And I do have other audiobooks, which brings me to I think this is the last thing that I want to talk about. I think. I also very much want to read and continue reading. I want to be in the world of the Vampire Chronicles, because I watched, of course, Interview with the Vampire, the new series on AMC and AMC Plus. It premiered Sunday, and if you have AMC Plus, you get access to episodes a week ahead of time. So they also have episode 2 available right now, and then when episode 2 airs next Sunday, or like this upcoming Sunday, episode 3 will be available on AMC Plus. And I did indeed watch the first 2 episodes, and I have thoughts. I will not go into them now. I don't know if I'm going to make a review video on my own. Probably not until... I'm thinking not until the whole season has premiered. It's already been renewed for a second season, which I'm excited about, even though only 2 episodes have happened so far, and I already have, like, not conflicting feelings, but just, like, a lot of different feelings, with the Vampire Chronicles being my favorite adult book series. I just say adult in terms of because I have a favorite YA series, a young adult series, and then this is my favorite adult series. And I also don't know if I'm going to do a video talking about it right now, just because my friend Jennifer Brooks, who I mentioned in my mid-year book freakout tag, right? Yeah. Because she's one of the booktubers that I discovered this year and watched a bunch of her videos, and some of our common interests are Interview with the Vampire, the Vampire Chronicles, and K-pop, EXO in particular. I mean, those are just 2 things, but those are what came to mind immediately. But she asked me if I wanted to be on her channel and talk about the series, because she wanted to talk about it with someone, and yes. And she knows that I love the series as well, and I've mentioned that I'm on the Vampire Armand in terms of reading the series, and so that's I have the audiobook. I have the next like few audiobooks for the next books in the series. So I'm all ready to like continue. But I know that this year I've put off reading the Vampire Armand because I also have the book physically, and this is the first time that I have a Vampire Chronicles book at the same time that I'm reading it. So I would like to read it physically along with listening to the audiobook, and that just makes me put it off more because I want it to be a physical thing as well. But in the meantime, I've put my focus on other books that I only have physically, so I don't know if that makes sense. But she actually said, I think that's Jennifer's second favorite book. I could be wrong, but she commented that it's like one of her favorites of the series, and perfect for October, I think. I'm trying to remember the exact comment that she left. She replied to, I commented on her video, and then she replied back, talking about it. So yeah, I'm still Vampire Armand is the next book that I have, and I really want to be in the Vampire Chronicles world, especially with the time of the year it is, and with watching the series. So when I will let you know whenever I do that video with Jennifer. I don't know. She just asked me so far, like we haven't really worked anything out specifically yet. Just both of us being like, we're making notes, okay. Because I was like, I was already writing things down after, while I was watching it. And sneak peek, I guess. Spoiler, kind of? Sneak peek. I have a theory, okay? I have a theory on something that the series is doing. No evidence that it will actually pan out or be the case, but I have thoughts overall, but there's something in particular that I'm like, ooh, I wonder if this is what's going to happen. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Interview with the Vampire. I would love to know your thoughts, even though, I mean, this is not specifically about Interview with the Vampire, the series. If you watched it, I would love to know your thoughts. And also, I will probably, because I don't know if that video with her is gonna be like in the immediate future, like within this week, but I will definitely put something on my Instagram story about it and share it, because I don't know if it's gonna be like a live thing or if we're gonna do like a pre-recorded video chat and then have that uploaded. So yeah, I will update you on that probably on my Instagram stories if I don't put up another video in the meantime, especially because, oh yeah, did I even mention where I have my books everywhere right now. I am filming a reading vlog for the Vampire Academy series, but that's probably not going to come out like until at least a week after I finish the series, just because I haven't even started editing it yet, and the clips are pretty long, because mostly it's just been like, okay, I finished the first book, here are my thoughts. Okay, I finished the second book, here are my thoughts. And then I will continue to do that with the rest of the books. But that could possibly be like the next video that I put up. There's kind of some other videos that I would like to work on, but also I don't know. I just am thinking about how I should prioritize things. Okay, I think that's it. I would love to know what you are up to. And if you missed my last videos, I did like a series of videos that was part book haul, part upcoming adaptations, because a lot of the books that I have bought this year do have new and upcoming adaptations, and so I showcased the books that I bought and also talked about the adaptations of those books. And I split them up into 5 videos. The first one was the festival circuit, so things that were premiering at the film fest at like TIFF and Venice for the most part. Not saying that the other adaptations aren't going to be festival movies, if that makes sense. Actually, the second part, the second video, it's not really parts. It's just like me categorizing it differently, but they can be watched in any order, and you can skip ones if you want to. But the second video was Unhinged Woman, literary fiction, and those definitely, if they come out at the right times, if the filmmakers decide to put them in festivals, they're definitely festival films, in my opinion. And then the third one was the middle grade and YA horror and series. That was the best, like, compartmentalization that I could come up with for the titles in that video, because it was mostly YA and mostly middle grade, many series, and some were horror, gothic, mystery kind of stuff. So that was the third one. The fourth one was vampires, of course. And I talked about Interview with the Vampire and the Mayfair Witches series, both of those, and Vampire Academy, because that was why I decided to try to binge read the books, is because the Vampire Academy TV show has now officially aired, or started airing. There, I think 6 episodes have aired so far. It's on Peacock. And then the 5th one was basically kind of like leftover stuff, historical fiction, and a biography. So I have them all in a playlist. I will link that in the card and in the description if you missed any of them. Yes. So those were the last videos that I put up, and this is what I've been doing in the meantime. Also, though, those videos took forever to edit and have all the... I'm really proud of the thumbnails. The thumbnails took a while. At least for the first 2 took a while, because I didn't exactly know what I was going to be doing. And then it wasn't until editing the second video and that thumbnail that I was like, I'm gonna have a different color for each of these videos. So that's another reason why reading the Vampire Academy series has taken me longer than expected, because basically that week that I was uploading those, I didn't get any reading done, and that was the week that I really wanted to be reading. So yes, that is what is up with me. Oh my god, also I bought more movies from the Shout Factory sale that ends on the 7th. So don't know when it will ship. I also included a pre-order. I don't know if they will hold back the entire order, because I pre-ordered something as well. But there's one thing in that order that was a pre-order item, and then I think I got 5 or 6 other movies. Or titles. One thing is a box set. Is that officially the last update? I've been getting a few other random Blu-rays releases from eBay and stuff. So I will probably have an upcoming movie haul then. I don't know if I'll put it all in the same video or what, but that might happen later this month. All right, this is me just saying that I've bought more things. Yeah, would love to know what's going on with you, and this is my update, what I've been up to video. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's officially spooky season. I would love to know if you have plans for Halloween or October. I don't know. I'm doing this apparently. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.